Greetings, digital world.
Greetings.
We're starting now.
Oh.
Okay, where to start? So, I'm with Aslam Maya. That's how you say it, right?
Mia.
Mia. This is
And
like girl.
Kiru Wong?
Yes,
Is
yes,
that
fine.
how do you say it?
Chiru.
Chiru Wong.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
I should learn that. I should learn that.
Oh.
And we're here to discuss what's wrong with Swansea, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not gonna like talk about everything because then we just
Run out of time.
never finished. And we want it to be productive. This is not just like I hate Swansea or something like that. That's not what this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a special focus on the city centre. What's wrong with the Swansea City Centre? Because we all know we walk around the city centre
It's dead, man.
and we're like,
So-
you look around and you think, what's wrong with the city centre? Like, what happened to the city centre? Because it has a lot of vacant property.
Properties, yeah.
Shops that close down.
Mm-hmm.
They're left, right, and centre.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the topic.
Uh-huh.
So another thing is, why are we recording this? I have some notes. I feel like I want to send a message to Swansea City Council.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like. I feel like there's no other way to like tell Swansea City Council. I can't just call them up and say, like, this is what you need to do to fix the city centre.
You could, you know.
Yeah,
It's
you can.
Swansea.
Suggestions.
I could try.
I don't think they do much over there anyway, so I think you'll be alright.
I don't think. Another reason is I care. Like, I actually care. And another reason is selfish in some sense. Like, when I see a problem, I want to fix it. My mind is automatically just like working on it.
Troublemaker.
Yes, exactly. And I think like discussing the problems helps.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's the starting point.
Definitely.
Noticing the problem helps. Discussing the problem helps.
I think everybody noticed.
Everybody notices. Yes, yes. And like, we're going to discuss the solutions to the problem. I'm going to offer kind of what you could call it an American perspective on the situation. That's another thing. Like, there's an American perspective on this. Like, how would an American come in and try to resolve this? Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's.
Not my jeans, King, please.
And the other thing is, I want Swansea to improve. Like, that's part of the other reason. Like, this is not just I hate Swansea, like blah blah blah.
Really? It's not what you said last night, man. Yeah, you never said that by that. I'm just making things up. Don't go to carry on, Bob.
But it is, I can imagine like this topic being upsetting for some people. Like, if you suggest, oh, like something's wrong with Swansea. So I can tell you guys, on LinkedIn, I saw a story about Swansea, about something amazing. It was something like, 100 years ago, Swansea was celebrating something to do with like copper, or I don't
Like Swansea
remember.
University?
Maybe Swansea University.
100 years ago, yeah. This is.
Or 50 years ago. It was a celebration of a great achievement in South Wales, and I wrote a comment. I was in a bad mood when I saw it. I wrote a comment that said, I wonder why Southwest Wales went so far downhill. And then one of the comments I got from a co-worker was, you can get out of here. Like, get out of here. Yes.
Ooh. Well, I wouldn't take that off your co-worker, mate, but there you go.
Yeah.
Now, this is me being a little bit defensive, and it's also like a response to that. Like, just telling
Make
people.
sure you add him or her after the post.
Yeah, I can send them a copy. Like, just saying to somebody that's like offering, questioning things, go get out of here is not a good solution.
Solution, yeah, of course.
It's not the right solution. And here's a reason why it's not a good solution. One is, you can't tell by looking at me, by the way. I have brought in £2 million to Swansea, to the local economy, in the time I've been here, through research funding, conference organization, and those sorts of related things. And I'm going away now, and I'm bringing £300,000 with me,
350
something like that. So, like, telling people just go away, it doesn't help.
No.
It doesn't help at all. I've also hired 7 people, so I've paid 7 salaries in that time I've been here. So that's like a big contribution to the local economy, and of course graduated, 11
not
PhDs.
to mention term PhD students and
That's
God
right.
knows how many
All the
masters
education.
and bachelors.
And I've also improved 2 houses. But like, the amount of money I've brought into the local economy far exceeds the amount of money that the local economy has paid me in salary by,
But everybody creates value,
That's true.
That's why they
true.
hire you.
That's
in the first
exactly
place.
right. That's right. Okay, so before we delve into what's wrong with the city centre, we can just mention some good things about Swansea, right? Low cost of living.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Very low.
The Gower is good.
Beautiful.
No question. Mumbles is
Amazing.
nice. The King, I met the King in Swansea. That was a great thing.
Yeah.
Swansea University, good. Good place.
Celebrating Swansea University, first century. Yeah.
Yep. It's multicultural. That's a good thing.
Here we are.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
And I think like it's not bad for cycling. Probably not everybody would agree with me on that. But
The weather, man. The weather.
it's good. Like the distances are pretty short for cycling. It's not perfect for cycling, but like I managed at least. And the distances are pretty short. Any other things you guys want to mention that's good about Swansea?
The drivers in Swansea are friendly.
Drivers are friendly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Swansea for, Aslan?
Ooh, since I was 5 years old.
Since you were 5.
So 50 years old.
So 100 years.
Yeah, 102 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good when you live in the SE1 area, which we do.
SE1, yeah.
Everything is pretty much a walking distance, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
one good thing. There's no need
If
for
the weather permits.
yeah, there's no need for
SE1.
buses, public transport, nothing like that. You can walk pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a massive advantage, personally.
It is. SA1, SA2 are very cyclable and
Cyclable,
walkable.
yeah.
Walkable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's wrong? The city centre, right? That's the focus. If you look around the city centre, you see a lot of vacant properties, right? Lots of closed down shops.
Or clearance, final day closing down clearance every
Yeah.
day. I'm not sure if they are actually closing.
Yes.
They just say that.
Some of them never tend to close down. They always say closing down sale.
Yeah,
It
it's
makes you go in there and spend
Sports
it.
Direct.
Yeah. That's
Always
since
like
2010,
last
I
day
think.
or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's a lie.
The next is always there. So that's one thing. Stop lying, Swansea.
Yeah, that's true. Sports Direct is special.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always
Special.
closing down. I don't know why, but
They are one of the ones that lasted, or lasts.
Oh, yeah.
But they have been in the headlines. They were in the headlines for filing bankruptcy, I believe.
No way.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
The
I
boss,
think so.
the boss
It's-
behind Sports Direct offered to buy. Is it?
Or was it?
Debenham?
Was it
or-
Debenhams? Debenhams filed for
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
yeah.
And something what happened with Sports Direct. Sports Direct.
No, BHS, British Home Store.
Yeah, that's the
That-
one that got
yeah,
closed.
that's
the
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we don't have BHS anymore. And, yeah,
A lot of places like
yeah.
well, Woolworths. I remember Woolworths.
I remember
was in the-
Woolworths.
Yeah.
Nah, not me.
Some of the other ones, like The Gap, I used to love going to the Gap. There
We
used
had
to be
a Gap.
There
Yeah,
was a
we
Gap
had
in
Gap.
Swansea. Yes, it
Where
closed
where H&M was, I think, isn't it? That's where Gap was. Yeah.
2008. I don't know where Starbucks went. Apparently, it's
No, they just
still
moved a
around.
few steps away.
Yeah.
Literally a few steps
What is
away.
it now? The closest one is when you're leaving Swansea, isn't it, on that road?
That's drive through.
Fabian.
That's drive through.
Yeah,
I
Fabian
think
Way.
there's another one.
Is
you
another
know,
one?
Basically, you go straight and turn right, make a right turn. I think they moved there.
Okay.
Right.
I think
fair
so.
enough.
I think they moved there.
I don't know if you guys remember the crepe shop.
Yes,
That
the
was
crepe
so
vine or something. Yeah.
Surprising because they were so busy.
Busy.
They were always packed.
Mm.
Always. There was even a time when I went in there and I turned around because I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's too
Not
busy
anymore.
here.
Mm.
Revolution is another one.
Oh,
we could
Revolution.
never like name all the
All
shops.
the
That
shops. It's too
But-
many.
but
it's too many.
It's pretty common. They come and they go, but I notice the new shops are not of good quality.
Yeah.
Actually.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially the one replaced VHS is what?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally what?
What?
I
Yeah.
I think
It's really bad
I think
actually.
on the first week of their
Uh-huh.
opening, I walked into the store and it was like,
Really?
yeah, what? Really?
It's funny. I actually never walked in.
It's
No.
I think I've gone in there looking. That's the thing. You don't know why to go in.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like what is the thing I
the,
should be looking
the
for?
window
Yeah,
doesn't
the
look nice
display
anymore.
is- yeah.
I was looking for
I was just
like bicycle
being
stuff.
I don't think you're gonna
I
get
couldn't get
bicycle stuff in what?
what can you get from what?
Okay, so I was wondering why. Like, do you guys know why all these shops go? Do you happen to know that there is a reason? There's at least one reason.
Well, I think I know what the reason is.
It's because I told you already.
Yeah, you did.
I
Yeah.
think
I have some. This time I wrote down some actual data, some actual
Right,
numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are public numbers. You can go to swansea.gov.uk. You can click on business, then land and property, then vacant property, and then in land for sale or lease.
Right.
And what you can do is you look up how much it costs to lease one of the properties in the city centre.
Right.
So I was wondering, like, because I see the businesses going all, out of business all the time, and I was in a shop, and the shop was really small, but I was like, I think this business is, I think I can spot who's going to go out of business now. And then I was just curious. I'm like, okay, I want to know, like, how much does it cost to run the shop, or just to have the shop? Right, so I looked up a few. Anybody can do this. You can look up how much it costs just the lease for one of these shops. And I looked on Union Street for some examples. Do you remember which one Union Street is? It's off of Oxford Street.
Right.
It's got Holland and Barrett.
oh, that's real.
Okay. Yeah.
And some travel agents. Is it?
I don't know if it has a travel agent. It has like a gambling spot. It's got a barber shop. it's got-
Subway as well on the other
Yeah,
side.
I know Holland
Yeah.
Barretts, I know that street. Yeah.
That's like a street that doesn't get that much traffic, but there are lots of vacancies. Like I took a photo. I actually took some photos of Swansea City Centre. I'm hoping to like actually integrate them with this video.
Okay.
But you can see 3 vacancies in a row on Union Street. It's always got lots of vacancies. And I was just curious, like, how
Much
does it cost? If you go into one of those little shops, who wants to guess? What is the rent for renting one of those little shops?
$2 grand per month.
You want to guess?
1,600.
1,600 per month.
1,652
Where did
pounds
you get that
28
figure
pence.
from, that number?
I just an estimation about $2 grand or $2 grand 20, 30 something.
You can look up these numbers. That's very, very close.
Wow.
What you
Because
just said.
also
Exactly.
depends on the size of the shops, I guess.
It depends on the
But
size.
I think
yeah.
2,000 would be the smallest possible to run a business.
That's
But
right.
those large one like Holland Barrett probably
With
close to
more.
350 or something.
£2,000 though, is that a Swansea or is that sort of average?
That's a small
I think
shop
it's
on
per,
Union Street.
per square meter or per square
Yeah.
foot something.
So, like for example, 28 Union Street, a small little shop. It's 36 square meters, which is quite small, or 330 square feet. The rent is 26K per annum.
That's higher than my estimation.
It is. It's 2.2 per month, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. When I was thinking about this, I was like, well, what do I pay in mortgage for my house? I know it's not the same, but that's like something I know. And I thought it's for this little room, like a room that's only like twice the size of this room we're sitting in, or maybe 3 times. I thought, okay, it's probably like comparable to my mortgage. That's what I was imagining, and I was paying, you know, 950-ish per month for my mortgage. So that's kind of what I was thinking in the ballpark. But I looked it up. That example is 2.2K per month. That comes out to £93 a day just for the rent. And that's, so these are just very, very basic back of the envelope calculations. So you have to bring in, just for the rent of that small shop, £11 an hour, roughly. That's that's
and
based.
staff, labor cost,
Yep, we're getting to that.
utilities,
Yep.
insurance.
Yep, we're getting to that. We're getting
Tax.
to that. Yep.
Tax. Ooh.
Tax, yes.
I think the rent can be counted towards your business expenses, and you can claim, tax
Reductions. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So if you want to factor in, council tax is also high. You know, it's like double what you would expect, just like the rent. I put in, on this example, I put in 300 for the council tax, which is very conservative. 100 for energy, £50 for water. And then if you want to hire just one employee...
Hang on. Are those data from somewhere, or is just
No,
our
these are just
estimation?
me making up. I looked up the
It's
council
too-
tax.
I think it's too low.
Yes,
That's what I was
they are.
thinking as well.
They're very conservative. £100 for energy is very, very
No,
conservative.
no way.
There's
you're
no
going
way.
to do
That's
that.
like normal
No way.
house with 3 people, dude.
No
In a
way.
business, it'll be
Yeah.
a lot more, wouldn't
Think
it?
about those,
Yeah, that's
those
true, the
fancy
machines and
lights
stuff.
that
Yeah.
you never turn
Yeah.
off during the night and everything.
Okay, but let's just finish this conservative low ball example. Yeah, £50 a month in water. If you want to pay one employee like yourself, minimum wage, that's £1,200 a month. That adds up to £3,579 a month, which is £150 a day, which is £20 an hour roughly. So you need to be bringing in £20 an hour
At least 20 hours. Yeah, at least 20.
just to pay the
All
running
food stuff.
costs. The running costs. And that's with a 6-day work week, by the way, and
Right.
8 hours a day. That's 6 days a week. Because the longer you're open, the more you have time to collect money.
money.
Well, not really. I think the reason why they close so early is because probably after 5.
Yeah, but no one's around.
Nobody's
after,
around.
yeah.
Nobody's around.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true.
you're
That's one of
just
the problems.
running the shop for
Yeah,
nothing.
for nothing. It's
And
open.
you're
Yeah.
not bringing even 20 quid per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to go have an hour with nobody in your shop. It's very easy. Like if you run a shop, and a lot of customers are not going to spend any money. They're going to come in, ask a few questions, and
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
If you decrease it to a 5-day work week, then it's £22 an hour that you need to bring in. So this is just like
boy.
very, very conservative estimate
Yeah.
of the running costs, lowball estimate. This does not include equipment. If you want to buy equipment, of course you need equipment.
Renovations.
It doesn't count renovations.
Yeah.
It doesn't count another employee if you want a second employee. It doesn't include your own food, like feeding yourself.
Feeding yourself, yeah.
It doesn't include materials. So if you're running a business that sells something, your goods cost something. You're selling materials. Those are not... So like, you need a lot of money per hour. So basically you need a very, very like large volume of customers, steady, a consistent large volume of customers, and that's just obviously not possible.
No.
It's not possible.
That's why they're closing down.
Exactly. It's too difficult. You need a very steady stream of customers, and there is this thing called like a new business discount on the lease, but it's not enough. It's a 6-month discount that reduces your lease by
tenants.
50%, maybe 25% off or something like that. But it doesn't work because a lot of the businesses go out in less than 6 months.
I would say 6 months. 6 months if they're really good.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
And after that, they're done for.
And if you notice, who does succeed? There are two. I think there are two kinds of businesses that do succeed: banks, right? Surprise, and retailers that depend on slave labor,
right?
Like Primark.
Ooh, talking about us now. Made in Bangladesh and China.
Yes, Tesco's.
I see why you invited us.
This is just to show how great the white man is.
It's such a huge curve. Finally, it comes to us.
Finally, the punchline of the video. Slave labor.
Slave labor.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only way to succeed. If you're a bank, or you can somehow sell slave labor.
Yeah.
These things seem to be
obviously factories with low, safety standard and everything.
In the city center or abroad?
Oh, you mean those factories where they get their goods from?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really slave anymore, but it's more like a very pro working condition.
Corporate slavery, however you want to look at it.
And just pro working environment and low, labor protection and everything.
It's that's my theory. Is that those you have to be in one of those categories to succeed in the city center.
Because pretty much everybody is doing the same thing. You should reduce, as a business, you aim to reduce your
costs.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Exactly.
Otherwise, with such a running cost, nobody is able to make a living.
The rental prices are insane. They're insane, basically.
Well, you are the one who keeps buying REITs. So it comes back to you.
Those are American.
But maybe you should invest in the UK more, Bob, especially Swansea.
Yeah. You can run a vegan shop, hire students to run it.
Yeah.
Try to beat
slave
that.
labor.
Yeah.
Maybe
like pay students
like
not below minimum wage.
$1 Budweiser an hour or something.
So yeah, anybody can look up that stuff, by the way. That's public data. So then the question is, what could you do to remedy this? This is the big question. I have some ideas, but I think I know, I'm not sure, but I'm very confident that some of these things are necessary to fix the problems. What the very, very obvious one is to lower rent prices and subsidies, offer subsidies.
But who actually owns those, properties, land?
Yep, some of them are Swansea City Council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the obvious objection is we can't afford to lower the rents, right? That's the obvious objection. However, nothing loses more money and costs more money than an empty property.
Property,
And this is the biggest loss possible. Like, this is the way to maximize your losses.
That's why they're offering this new business discount on your lease, on your rent.
It's not enough. But that's the right idea. So let's take an extreme example, You say the rent is free. Now that's going to make everybody oh, you must be crazy to do free rent. That's just berserk. But watch what happens if you do free rent. Yeah, you collect income tax
Right.
because people are working there. So you're not collecting any tax if it's empty, right?
Yeah.
But if it's full with no rent, you're collecting income tax. You're collecting council tax. You're collecting VAT on all the services and goods brought in. You're also there's another like chain reaction. So you have employees, new employees, and so you're going to have more people employed than
They're going to spend
otherwise. Exactly, and then they're going to have money to spend. And you're going to take some people off of benefits.
Stimulate the local economy.
Yeah, so like there are so many great things for just a shop that's running. There are so many great benefits. And plus, like if you look at some of those empty properties, some of them have been empty for a very long time. And the windows are broken. Like it's running down. Like it's just waiting for I don't know, to crumble. You know, and just to prevent the decay.
Cat house.
Yeah, it could be a cat, like an animal shelter. An animal shelter would be much better than nothing. Anything is better than nothing. Like anything. That's one of the main messages. Like anything. There are so many benefits to just having a shop that's running instead of an empty space. Second thing that this is now when you hear these things. Like what I imagine is somebody listening and going, "No way, that's possible!" But like you have to hear the how it is possible parts. Like the transport infrastructure, this has to be improved. Like the transport infrastructure. There are two things going on. There are at least three things going on.
Roadworks.
Yep, you have bottlenecks. Those are a huge problem. Road bottlenecks. Fabian Way.
Not only Fabian Way. Fabian Way is the main road, but there's one. The Park Tower.
Oh yeah.
They just recently, improved them.
Oyster Mouth Road.
No, it's the Park Tower.
Where
the Toys R Us used to be. They opened like what's that? B&M, the store. And Iceland warehouse and where is that? The mother and baby stuff thing. Mother care or something.
Okay.
And that there's a car park. Every time I shop there, it literally takes me like 15 minutes to find a place to park, and 20 minutes to get out of that car park.
Wow. Because of the bottlenecks.
It's poorly designed. So when you came out, you have to make this turn back to the road, back on the road, and there is a traffic light, which gives you about like 30 seconds every time, and then you have to wait for like a minute or so for the next green light. So especially around rush hours when the road is busy. Because I've experienced this, you couldn't get out. You couldn't just get out because you are blocked there permanently. Like you're just sitting there and just, 20 minutes every time.
So like the transport infrastructure needs improvement. Like in building more roads, well, improving the roads wouldn't be so bad, but just building roads is not going to solve the problem.
Improving the roads is taking forever. I first came here in 2015.
All the Kingsway and stuff.
Kingsway. They start building.
Bendy bus. It was the bendy bus.
That's a bendy bus. Where is it now? I don't know. It's gone.
Got into a crash and they terminated it. It crashed.
So funny, and also that Kingsway is under like renovation like forever.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna build anything there because it was the old Oceana, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Who the hell is gonna want to like build anything there? There's no traffic, like there's no one there. Apparently, back in the days, you know now is Wine Street, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the days, it was Kingsway. Apparently, like that was the place.
Yeah.
But now even Wine Street is closing down now, isn't it? Some of the stuff.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff is closing.
Yeah.
Latasca closed on Wine Street. Revolution closed recently.
Yeah.
A lot of the places. And I think they're going to continue to close.
I don't drink, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is we need trams. We need to bring back the trams. Yes.
Yeah.
That's huge work.
It is exactly. But Swansea used to have trams.
Is it tram or train?
Both.
Train. Really?
Swansea used to have trains.
I know that
and
train
trams.
museum.
Exactly, in Blackpill.
No, it's by the marina. In Marina.
Yep, there's the train museum.
Yeah.
There's also a history of trains in Blackpill at a place called the Junction. If you go into a cafe called the Junction, they have the history of the train between Swansea City Centre and Mumbles. So you used to be able to take the train to Swansea City Centre and then continue.
That's for mining, I guess.
It was for passengers.
Wow.
In its last year of operation, it had over 3 million pedestrian passengers.
3 million?
In 1 year. Yes. And it was destroyed. It was a train that went from the city centre to Mumbles for passengers, just normal passengers. It's also, according to the Junction, it's the world's first train. So it was initially pulled by horses, yep.
Wow.
Really?
And then it went...
First train?
Yep, that's what it's advertised. If you go to the Junction and you go to Wikipedia, yep. Pulled by horses, world's first train, and then it went to coal, I think, and then steam, or something like that. I might have got the...
Well, I don't know any of this.
Yep.
World's
first train. That's what it's advertised as.
Train or train line? I guess train line.
Passenger train. You can call it maybe a passenger train.
Nah, that's nice.
And you can see many images of this. There are lots and lots of images of this. Whatever that thing there's a special bridge. I can't remember, the swing bridge or something like that.
Suspension bridge or something?
I think it's called the swing bridge or something like that. But anyway, the Junction was a stop. The cafe called Junction was a stop, and that's why it's called the Junction.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's got the full history. I encourage you guys, well, it's too late for you.
No, it doesn't say anything about Wales, first train line in Wales or something.
You have to go to the Junction. You have to go, yeah. And you'll see pictures, you see all the statistics, you'll see the complete history of this train. The first time I saw it, my jaw hit the floor.
The first train carried a load of 10 tons of iron. And first steam locomotive railway.
This one precedes steam trains. It precedes steam, and I think it precedes coal, and I think it was a horse-drawn train to begin with. Yeah, it was like, it's ancient. You can also Google Swansea trams. I have a book, I might have given it away, but it might be packed, but it's got a history of Swansea in it, and you can see an active tram line. You can see tram lines going along Gower Road, Sketty Road. Of course, you have the connection from the city centre to Mumbles. There was a tram network that was operating and running in Swansea previously. And so if of course everybody's going to say, no, that's impossible, we can't afford that. But Swansea was a lot poorer back then, a lot poorer, right? There was no European Union. So if it was possible back then, it's more possible now. It's even more possible. And a lot of cities have trams. So this is absolutely essential. Like building another building. That's what Swansea likes to do. Let's build another building. Let's build the LC2. I like the LC2, but building another building is not going to fix the problem.
That new building they just
Yep,
started.
there's another new building going next to the LC2. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep, it's fine, but it's not going to fix the problem.
Okay.
It's not. And the other thing is, like, you want people to come to the city center, but they don't want to because they think, oh, I have these bottlenecks I have to overcome.
Yeah.
I have to go down Oystermouth Road, which is a bottleneck. I have to go down Sketty Road or Gower Road, which is a bottleneck. The cost of coming in and out of the city center is too high. Both cognitively and from the actual money. So a tram is what's necessary to address this. And I've also heard people say, oh, I'm not going into the city center because of parking. You know, either I can't find parking.
Parking is a problem.
Or it costs too much to park. But this is not this is fundamentally not the way to solve it. Like building more park places is not the recommendation. So bring back the tram, bring back the train. You know, but basically what happened is the automobile industry stepped in and said, get these trams out of here, get these trains out, let's get some money for the, you know, whatever the car dealerships are around here. But the same thing happened in the US. The US used to have a very vibrant, you know, train network.
Yeah, I know.
And it's gone. It's because of like General Motors and Ford bought the train companies and destroyed them, basically. And there were some other things that happened.
I think the then president signed some bill to, you know, privatize all the railway and just...
That's right. Yeah. That's a key. How did you know that?
Because I was looking, you know, up, you know, US train history, everything.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I read on news the US has this huge sinkhole for renewing your infrastructure.
That's right. That's
you know,
right.
Road maintenance, everything. It's like a few $billion.
Wow. The GM and Ford and the other automobile companies convinced the U.S. government that the U.S. government should use taxes to pay for the roads, but the railroads had to use their own money to pay for the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
That was a huge decision, and you know, on a side note, I think it was Pennsylvania Railroad or something like that. It was one of the best stocks you could buy.
No way.
Yeah, it was like a staple. It was like an AT&T of today.
Okay.
And it like increased for like 70 or 75 years, and it used to be like.
Where is it now?
It went out of business around 1970. Yeah,
okay.
Around 1970 it was gone. Yep.
But do you remember you taking a train back in the States?
I have taken the train.
How was the experience? How was your experience?
It's fine, but it's slow. It's
slow, even slower than here.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, then that's gonna be really slow.
That doesn't solve things, Bob. Remember, we're going to solve things here. You know, you have to look for ways we can improve.
Yes. Well, that's. But anyways, that's something that Swansea needs really bad. Okay, yeah, and don't just build new buildings. I think Swansea City Council is like, oh, we're going to build a new building and that's going to solve problems. No, not really. Like, building new buildings is not going to solve these problems because you want people to come to the city center and leave easy. That's one of the things you have to enable to get the Swansea City Center back revitalized. Okay, another idea is if you want to raise the value of any street anywhere, you can pedestrianize it. Right. So the most valuable streets and the streets that everybody love are the pedestrianized zones. So a good example is Wine Street, it's pedestrianized.
Yeah.
Oxford Street. It's like the cities that are the most successful and the happiest and people want to go to them are the ones with the biggest pedestrian zones. So like Barcelona has a huge pedestrian zone. Like everybody wants to go to Barcelona, right?
But be careful of your wallet and everything.
Yeah, that's. I used to live in Graz in Austria, and it has a river right down the River Moor.
Well, but you could argue there are counterexamples. Hong Kong, Singapore.
Do they have big pedestrian zones?
No, they don't.
Okay, but they're
I
still.
think, I guess the busiest, shopping street, I believe, remember it's Orchard Road, Orchard Street in Singapore. It's not, but it's
still big.
Wow, massive. You can find any brand on the street.
It would be even better if it was pedestrianized.
Yeah, Bob, we're not going to disagree on that, Bob. This is your show. Number one, you're not allowed to disagree with Bob, alright?
You're gonna ruin it!
You're gonna ruin the Wow, listen, you're not allowed to come up with counter arguments, right?
Okay.
Bob does not like that, you know that.
Okay.
Sorry, Bob. Carry on.
I used to live in Graz. Graz has a river down the center called the River Moor. And there's a nice side of the city, and then there's a not nice side. I was on the dark side of the Moor.
Ghetto.
Right.
I was on the ghetto side, yeah.
You in the ghetto?
Yeah.
Well,
Me in the ghetto, we're like this.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking one day, why am I in the ghetto? Like, why is there a river here, and this side is the dark side, and this side is the posh side?
Right.
Like the privileged side. And the only difference was the pedestrianized zone. The good side had the pedestrianized zone, and the dark side had no pedestrianized zone. That's when I realized the valuable real estate. This is where everybody wanted to be, in the pedestrianized zone, because it's nice. It's a nice experience to walk around. You don't have to listen to loud traffic and all that stuff.
Wow.
It's just nice. Sometimes you have...
Keep your mouth shut now, okay? Sorry, Bob,
Sometimes you have those streets that are made of brick and cobblestone when it's the pedestrianized zone and stuff like that. Yes, okay, there are exceptions in Singapore and all that stuff. Okay, another great idea is, this is a good one, I think, convert some of the commercial real estate into housing, right?
Ooh.
You have a housing shortage, and you have too much commercial real estate. That's gonna feed two birds with one stone.
Right.
Because you're gonna address the housing shortage, and you're gonna bring more customers to the shops to stimulate the actual shopping and so on. And there's so much real estate there. There's like, I don't know how many, 100 at least.
I think they've already converted, the station road. Many properties, above shops, they're already converted into like
I hope
apartments
so.
and everything.
I hope so, but if you look around, there's so much mysterious, empty, wasted space above the shops. Like, you can't tell what's going on a lot of the time above those shops. I think there's a lot of wasted space.
Empty spaces.
But that would be a great initiative to turn some of that.
Is there really a housing shortage in Swansea?
I don't know, like, the UK is always complaining about housing shortages.
You know why? Because they only love houses. They don't love
Apartments. Yeah.
If you want to, like, get on the property ladder, for the younger people, then apartments could be a good...
They're still very expensive comparatively, because the location for apartments
is always
better than houses,
I can tell you this new housing estate, everything was bought before it was even completed. The construction was completed, so. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't hurt to have some more housing. And the housing prices are too expensive, anyways. It shouldn't cost.
But existing property owners wouldn't be happy about that.
Yeah.
My government is destroying my
business.
Not really business. My portfolio. My
property value. Things.
Yeah, that's good for the rich white men. That is good.
Am I missing something? Yeah, I thought this was the whole point of this video.
Rich white man ruining them?
About the rich white man ruining the world and stuff. taking things that don't belong to him, but that's a different topic.
That's another video. That's another video. That's like, that's the entire history of mankind. Like, we're not going to cover that in one video. Okay, another idea is to, I think this is a good one personally, encourage businesses to stay open in the evening. So
extend their business
opening hours.
Yeah,
exactly.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. Who succeeds? Tesco's number one.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's is number two because they have the longest opening hours. And you don't have to think.
Yeah.
You just know, open. They're open.
But that circles back to the old question, you know. The longer you're staying, the more cost will be occurred.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
You don't get enough customers.
That goes back.
But except, you know, supermarkets because
because
people, you have to go
always.
Yeah.
But even then, you know, have you ever been to like Tesco at 2 a.m. something?
Only when I was on drugs and like.
On drugs.
With all the drugs
or illegal ones. So actually, I've been to Tesco at really, you know, late at night, 11, 12, 1, 2. I think. Yeah. So
wearing a vampire suit.
Yeah, when I was out hunting babies, you know, for food, and so it's like completely empty.
Yeah, it is.
I am literally the only person in the store. It feels like, you know, everybody was eaten by zombies or whatever.
Yeah.
So there wasn't even the staff that can help. It's all self-checkout and everything. No security. I don't know what happened, but it's always empty.
Good time to avoid the queues.
True story. But think about that. All the lights are fully switched on.
Yeah. But having said that, Tesco is number one. Like they make the most profit in the world.
But I don't think they make any money during the night. You know.
I don't know. Probably.
Just think about all those lights you know, all those lights were turning on.
My point is, like, I work full time, right? I cannot necessarily go somewhere from 9 to 5.
Yeah, that closes before I leave my work.
It's like, come on. What are the people that work supposed to do? You know, like, I want to go shopping or I want to go to eat somewhere. It's like, come on, I work. And there are some places that I can't go to just because I work, you know, which is not right, you know. And the people that work are also the people with the money. You know, to spend. So but I know, like, it's like, it's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be addressed, I think. And I know a lot of shops say, oh, we don't get enough customers in the evening, but I think that could change. If people had this idea, oh, there are things open in the city center in the evening, they might start to go, maybe. They know Tesco is open. Everybody knows this, so everybody goes to Tesco, but people don't really know that other stuff might be open, you know. So if that could change, you know, that's an issue.
You have to get all shop owners on board. Otherwise, if there's only 1 or 2 shops,
that's right.
It's not gonna work neither, because then like they'll just be there idle.
It's like a city center cultural shift that needs to take place. And then the last thing is, it's also partially the business's fault. So like businesses need to think about how to attract customers. And a lot of businesses don't think about that in Swansea. A lot of businesses, they have, oh, I have this great idea for a shop. I'm just going to open the shop and magically hope people come in. Like, you know, I'm just going to have such an amazing place. People are magically going to come in. The businesses generally don't think, okay, how am I going to attract people to my business? Like, how is this going to work? It's a fundamental question. And I see so many businesses just open and they're not making any effort to get people in there and that's a big topic. But that's one of the things that needs to happen. Yeah. That's it. What do you guys think?
Me personally, I think Swansea needs to have more diversified business.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's many sectors. There's nothing apart from students luring people to come to Swansea, because there's no sectors to work in.
That's
Higher
true.
education
That's
is
true. Yes.
I read online, it says Swansea University like hires like 70% of like employees in Swansea.
And the DVLA.
Yeah.
And the hospitals.
Yeah, and then the next thing after that is just purely call centres.
Virgin Media.
Virgin Media.
And
You got
our HQ is in Swansea. No, it's just a call center.
Yeah. You've got there's nothing luring people into. If you're a businessman, there's nothing forcing you to come here.
The industrial park, the technology park.
That gets back to the transport infrastructure. You know, if you want to have a business here, you want a good transport infrastructure to support
I thought we just have
business.
our train timetable adjusted, and direct trains between London and Swansea was reduced.
I don't know. Yeah, theoretically we do have new trains, but
No, it's not new trains. It's new timetable with less direct train from Swansea to London.
Less?
Yes, that's what I read from Wales Online.
Why is it less? Supposed to be more in it?
I don't know.
The train connection between Swansea and Cardiff is really bad.
It's just slow. It's
slow.
Way too slow.
And there are
I can drive faster than that.
There are lots of delays. It's not reliable either.
But I think that's the problem with train line in the UK though.
Yeah.
A lot of trains are never on time.
That's yeah.
Just the UK. If you got money, just emigrate to another country. It solves your problem.
Is it too late to withdrawing from the EU?
But yeah, shop owners, I think they're not diversified. Like you walk around and you see 10 barber shops.
Yeah.
It's not diversified.
No.
But they do, like retailers, they do face competitions from Amazon. Everybody online.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's because for Amazon, it's like they have a warehouse here and it covers like South Wales. That's it.
That's true.
And then you also got to think about small retail parks. Like Forest Park or stuff like that. They're sometimes more preferable. You've got ample parking space. Tesco's there. Starbucks there. TK Maxx there. You have PC World. They're all in that small. You don't need to come to town.
That's right. That's right. The thing that you'd want to create in the city centre is just a nice experience. Getting back to the pedestrianised zones, if you could offer a convenient tram in and out, in a pedestrianised zone, people like to shop. They like that experience. It's fun to go into a nice city centre. Nottingham City Centre is nice. It's fun to go into Nottingham City Centre.
Not bad, a lot better than Swansea, but
I think everything's better than Swansea.
I've heard that there are other city centres that are having similar problems. But it's the same set of characteristics.
Everywhere. I mean,
if you go to Newport,
I wouldn't say it's everywhere.
Otherwise, BHS and Birmingham, they wouldn't go out of business. Those traditional,
there are some pretty bad places.
Department store,
Debenhams,
department stores. They just, you see sales declining every year. Partially it's because of online shopping.
Online shopping, people,
and people having less money to spend as well.
Probably, but I mean, for me, I rarely go into physical stores, brick and mortar stores. I just shop online. It's
much easier.
And also, when I leave work, 5 p.m., sometimes even later, nobody's gonna stay open.
It's just
I have to plan my day to get my shopping done.
That's a flaw.
It's population as well though. Swansea's doesn't have that much population. It doesn't have that population neither. that constant inflow of people. Like right now, if you also go to city centre, you'll probably only see like 6-7 people.
You have enough students. However, they don't go to these shops. These shops are just, I don't know what they're for.
And the thing is with Swansea, they rely too much on the students. That's why they got all these. But students, apart from housing, the students aren't the people who bring a lot of money into the economy. Do you know what I mean? They don't have personal spending.
Wine Street is
they do spend a lot of money, but I guess not enough as working adults.
Big problems. But I think those are some of the solutions. My biggest beef is the transport infrastructure. That's my biggest. And the rent is too high. These are like the two big ones, I think. If the rent is going to stay that high and you don't work on improve the transport infrastructure, but there's no chance.
No chance.
I think it would be interesting to compare the rents in Swansea and some other similar sized town cities.
Could be very interesting.
Who is really successful in running their city centre and everything.
That's true. That would be interesting to do a big comparison.
Because I think
could be your video next.
One video.
I think there is always
I think one's real life novel.
I think there is always rise and fall.
You don't say in front of a laptop talk about Swansea all day. And the trails.
That's true.
You're only here for the modern corporate slavery.
That would be a good one.
Yes.
And I would say if, let's say, the council really makes those rent go away and the city centre is revived, I'm pretty sure they're just going to come back and we are going to start charging rent and everything again.
That was a hypothetical no rent situation. That's probably
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. But there are benefits and you would try to revitalize the city centre by the rents have to be reduced. They have to be reduced. For example, instead of building LC3, which costs £500 million, imagine how much rent you could reduce for the whole city centre. You could, pay the rent of the entire city centre for 10 years or something with that money.
Or instead, you can spend 50 million to get some Chinese and laborers to get it done.
And get the trams in. We need the Chinese for the trams. And the trains to bring them back because they're good at it.
National security, guys. National security.
It's so ironic too because if you open up any U.S. history book, this is something everybody in the classroom studies at some point. You learn the lesson of the golden spike. You guys ever heard? You probably heard about that. The golden spike.
That's ringing a bell.
I bet you've heard of it.
I've never heard of that.
You hear this in every history lesson in the U.S. when you grow up in the U.S. and you're in the history.
Because of gold, then they start building train lines.
That's right. So there was the California.
Europeans, they start investing, all the money into the States and start building train lines.
California gold rush caused the mass immigration to the West Coast, and then the golden spike was the spike that joined the railroad from the West Coast to the East Coast. It was the final spike. And this is one of our major history lessons. I don't really even know why, but the U.S. celebrates. This is a huge milestone, in the history of the United States. And ironically, the railroads have kind of been disintegrated. And as a complete side note, there was a lot of slave labor, a lot of Chinese immigrants. I think that was probably
Chinese Exclusion Act.
That's a different video. You can do that one.
No.
I don't know. That's part of the irony of that whole thing. But it's in every history book. Check us out. We have the golden spike. It's amazing. Proud achievement.
The upcoming episode on UK, US train line history, railway history.
Okay, I'm tired.
Yeah, and me. I'm shattered now.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah,
Should we wrap it up?
I've not done so much listening.
But you've done more work back in factory, right?
Yeah. No, this is quite some work.
You were talking all day too, right? Your job is to talk.
Yeah, my job is to talk. Yeah.
Trick people into your business.
Okay, I hope somebody from the Swansea City Council sees this amazing material. Probably not, but
yeah, I think it's too late to save Swansea personally. Get out of here while you have a chance, people! Listen to me. Get out. Live the high life. Don't. This is like a black hole.
You can come up now.
Well done, gentlemen. That was good.
Why are you like that?